Hi guys, Retro Tech Ralph here. We've all had a PlayStation, we've played them, they all seem to go fine, the different models with the stuff on the back, yeah, whoop-de-doo, yeah, it's just... What I never had, with most things anyway, but I never had the smaller one, the PS1, that one. Now, I know that the differences are probably as follows. Yeah, you're missing a reset button, but that's probably a press and hold, that's reset. But it's so tiny, it's ridiculous. And there's actually a new hack that you can get now to do stuff with this. So you don't really need to get the Mini, what they brought out a few years ago, and the prices of those are shooting up anyway. What I want to do on this video is compare exactly what is the size and internal differences on there. Now, I've never actually plugged this in. I've had this PlayStation 1, should call it. The PlayStation 1 for quite a while now, and I bought a PS1 probably over a year ago, and I've never actually tried it. So before I get anywhere in this, here's a power supply, the right voltage, plug her in, and unsurprisingly, this doesn't work. Has issues, I think. Press and hold? No, that actually does not work. So that's a shame. I thought it would have done. Oh well. That's part of this project then. Let's see if we can get it fixed. Right. That might actually be the issue as well. That power supply might not work right anyway. But what I want to do now, strip these down. Right, flip them both over. You have, again, slight difference. You've got 3 and a 3, and you've only got 5 screws on there. So let me strip these down and get the screws out. Screws are out. All I can say is the ones off this one were incredibly difficult to get out. They're kind of shallow, cross-thread, but deep, but awkward-ish to get into, if you understand what I mean. They were very hard to get out of this, so it makes it think like this has never been opened, making me think that it's a power supply. But that's not what I'm here for. I'm going to compare these. So turn that one round, the top comes off. Now this actually was a donation from somebody a while ago. Went down and picked it up. The guy was in, is it not, I think Mansfield. It was not far from me, 20 miles or so down south. But it works perfectly. Never done anything with it, never cleaned it, never nothing. It was just there for a project to do, and I just didn't bother with the project, which is fine. These things happen. So the PlayStation 1, power supply inbuilt. You have the CD player, you have the gubbins all behind the motherboard, shields round as well for no reason, and your joystick ports. Let's have a look what the PS1 has. Now, I don't know if it was the bottom off or top off. Okie. Oh. So this has never been done, because there's a screw behind there, the void if removed, which is it's a pain in the bum when they do this, because it now looks like I've opened this up when I'm not trying to fiddle anybody or whatever, but it's either a case of I've got a screw there, or it's a case of, you know, they've been in, or, well, I prefer it if it was it'd look mint. So I've got to just clean all that off now then. So, yeah, okay. So turn round. Same again. You have the top. Now I need to clean that button because that seems to be not working too much. That's a cobweb. Very fine cobweb, but still relatively quite weirdly clean. Okay, so that just needs oiling because that's just not sticking for some reason. I might take it off and clean that. It just doesn't want to go in and out. Might be a little bit of something that's been dribbled on there. And that's not springing back either, but I might not need to. So inside then, obviously we've got a motherboard, which is, a lot smaller as well. And then the CD drive, does it come out the same way as the old one? Yeah, ribbon cable and power supply. Hold on to the tab to try and pull it out. And a piece of tape holding it in place for no reason. There we go. So CD drive out. Same with this one. You have the ribbon cable and the power supply. And out it comes. I mean, these look very, very exactly the same apart from the grey plastics. So it looks like the PlayStation may have reused somewhat. Yeah. Exactly the same. Even down to the, oh, it's in the A, that's a B. 44OBAM, that's 44AOAM. So a tiny bit different. That means it's a newer version. No screws holding on any part of the shield in there. Whereas this one has got 1, 2, 3, potentially 4 screws holding that in place. And the power cable goes there to the power supply, which tucks underneath there. I'll get you down to the motherboard in a second. As I've unconnected that one from there. Let's disconnect that from there. So how are the controllers in? The controllers are off to a little angle, aren't they? Is that screwed in place? And I don't see any screws anywhere. That's rather odd. Right, let me take these screws out in here and we can compare the motherboards directly. Okay, screws out. Yeah, I like the way PlayStation always put these little arrows here. They did it in the PS1, 2, 3, I think the... Did I have opened a 4? Must have done. So, this is confusing. The motherboard on here... I still can't get this out. So these are a bit more... They're a full unit where they've took out bottom section of this and made it part of the case instead of it being alongside of the case. But the motherboard itself, the PS1 is bigger than the PlayStation. I hope that's a head hair. But on width wise it's not, so they've completely reconfigured it. What we got compare on? CD20, no, that's a different chip. CD29 3XQ, that's exactly the same, well, virtually the same chip. CXD chip. Is that the CXD? Yeah, 9606BQ. So that's the same chip as that one, just remounted a different direction. The Shiba chip. Yeah, it's just basically, let's move things around, shall we? Because we're a bit bored. Now, it can't be out like that. It's just obviously I wanted to do things slightly differently. I can't be asked to take those two out. There's nothing underneath here we need to see, apart from maybe a little bit of dust, but relatively, there's no reason why this shouldn't work. And I'm surprised there was that little tiny cobweb on the lid, and it's nothing else. A little bit of flux around there, but that's nothing really. Is that a touch button, or is that just part of the... Yeah, that's just part of this part of the shielding. Touching to create an earth, even though it should be touching elsewhere as well. It's that tiny piece there. But yeah, side-by-side comparison to a PlayStation. Technically, you should be that. That's all the difference is. So, yeah. Now I need to figure out what's wrong with this. Now I don't know why it isn't working. It should be working, but it isn't working. So let me put this back together and see what... Ooh, that tips into there. Okay. You see what I mean? The whole plastic bit is now this casing here. Even though these sections are... They're not fully separate. They're screwed into the... Well, soldered onto the board. They are not. They're just a unit which is then ribbon cabled onto the board itself. Which is... It's slightly compact, and you could make this itself a little bit more compact, like cutting the front off. But that would be just insane anyway. So, put them back together and see why this don't work. Right, I've had this thing out. Right, I put the multimeter on. For some reason, it's all over the place. Honestly, I'm convinced this is not working. So I've managed to get my PS2 power supply, the mini PS2 one I've got is 8.5 volts instead of being 7.5, but it should regulate the power down anyway. So with that, why is that just going by me? Right, wrong setting anyway. Off. Right, but that was just absolutely going everywhere. With this one in, we have a power light, which is good. And didn't hear anything now. Oh yeah, had a buzz. Sure, Ralph. That seems to work fine. So it's the power supply that's absolutely kaput. So yeah, fine. It does work. That's good. It should have worked anyway, with it being invalidated warranty. So that's good for me. Is there any problem with the connector? Actually, I think the pins inside here are pushed in, so I can't actually get a proper reading. So I might just get a new cable on the end. Maybe I should just cut that off and see if it works. Okay, well this is a task for me for the future anyway. Yes, I not like having a PS2 power supply. Yes, I'd like to have a proper PS1 power supply, but I can work with that anyway. So, with that in mind, that's the comparison between a PlayStation 1 and a PS1. All done, all happy, and I'm glad that actually works. There's nothing to do with that. Like I said, oil on there a little bit, it just releases the mechanism sometimes. Oh, come on. There we go. Just needs to work through a little bit. Right, so anyway, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, follow me on social media. If you'd like to help out the channel, there's the Patreon links, there's the YouTube links, there's email links if you want to send me something so I can have a good tear down with it and maybe put a video out. I mean, yeah, this is 2 years since I actually got that PlayStation, but anyway, I will still do a video, and thank you anyway. So with that in mind, thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you in another video. Bye for now. And just for a little bit of proof this does actually work, power on. There you go. I know how bad I am at editing anyway, so there you go. It does actually work. Bye for now.